As a result of this ordeal, Sophia's marriage was apparently called off. Later, President Smith informed me of everything and apologized repeatedly for causing trouble involving him and his son. But he actually thanked me. He expressed gratitude for preventing his son from marrying someone so deceitful, leaving me with mixed feelings about whether to be happy or not. Mary and Sophia, exposed for their treatment towards me, were nearly ostracized by their family and acquaintances. They have since moved to a different town, trying to make a fresh start. While I support their efforts to change, I doubt I'll ever be involved with them again. What was my marriage all about? Even if it was a false happiness, the realization that I could have continued living blissfully unaware makes me feel miserable. But dwelling on the past won't change it. I remind myself that it's all in the past and focus on moving forward with a fresh start. Since then, I've dedicated myself even more to my work. One day, President Smith called me in for a meeting that would become a turning point in my life. "Jackson, your work ethic and character are impeccable. Though it's a different industry, would you consider working for us as an employee?" President Smith personally offered me a position, appreciating my personality. While I felt a sense of duty to my current employer, the prospect of a better income was crucial for my future. After much deliberation and discussion with President Smith of my current company, I accepted the offer. My departure was deeply regretted, but I was sent off with smiles. In the end, adjusting to the new job was challenging at first, but with support from President Smith and colleagues, I gradually became accustomed to the work. Over time, I significantly improved my performance and received a substantial salary increase. Years after the transition, I became responsible for training newcomers. "Jackson, I look forward to working with you," one of the new employees said. "Likewise. I know you might be nervous, but let's take it easy and not stress too much," I responded. The new employee, a sincere and diligent woman, immediately gained my respect for her hard work and made me want to support her even more. When she achieved her first success at work, we went out for drinks to celebrate. "You did a great job this time," I complimented. "It's because you were always there to support me, Jackson. I'm really grateful that you were assigned as my mentor," she said with a smile that I couldn't help but find endearing. Over time, we built a trustful relationship and eventually started hanging out in our private time as well. I found her innocent laughter and joy outside of work to be incredibly endearing, contrasting her serious work demeanor. Eventually, I confessed my feelings to her. Considering the significant age difference between us, I was well into my 40s, and she was still in her 20s, I was prepared for rejection. Contrary to my expectations, she responded to my feelings with tears, accepting them. It seemed that she had also developed feelings for me as we spent time together. Thus, we officially started dating. After a workplace romance, we eventually got married and were blessed with children, building a happy family. Looking back on my life, I've experienced both good and bad times. However, I believe that by always looking forward and diligently working hard, I was able to achieve the happiness I have now. When my life with Mary and Sophia fell apart in such a manner, I couldn't have imagined a happy future like the one I have now. But looking back, I'm proud of myself for not giving up and for staying strong through those tough times. To protect this happy life I have with my family, I'll continue to move forward every day. And by the end of the evening, we had exchanged contact information. A few days later, just as we had discussed over dinner, she contacted me wanting to learn how to cook. We were able to quickly arrange a meeting as she had kept her schedule open to match my day off. I never expected she would actually come to my house. As we prepared the meal, I taught her how to cook. Mary, despite claiming she wasn't good at cooking, caught on quite quickly. She was delighted with the dishes I made, praising how delicious they were. "It would be so nice to be married to someone like you. Life would surely be enjoyable every day. If you say things like that, I might just take you seriously," I thought. While thinking such thoughts, I became curious about why someone like her had gone divorced and decided to ask. She looked down and was silent for a while. Sorry, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. No, it's okay. Mary then shared the story of her divorce. It started with harassment from her ex-husband. Apparently, he was the type who couldn't stand it if things didn't go his way, and he constantly nagged her about the smallest things. Their personalities clashed, leading to the divorce. My daughter got along well with her father, but I just couldn't handle it anymore. It's understandable to get fed up when faced with constant nagging every day. Continuing to endure such a situation would only have caused her mental distress. Choosing to divorce was probably the best decision for her. If it were me, I would never make you go through such hardship. Surprised by my words, Mary showed a startled expression. Realizing what I had just blurted out, I became aware of my slip. Oh no, that was just... I frantically searched for an excuse but couldn't come up with a proper response. However, Mary chuckled and said, "Jackson, you're funny. So, would you make me happy then?" What did she mean by that? At least it seemed she didn't have a bad impression of me. Thanks to the exchange, we gradually grew closer. After a while, we began dating. I was ecstatic to have a girlfriend for the first time in my life. This led to playful teasing from my coworkers. Mary and I continued our relationship smoothly, especially since she really enjoyed my cooking. She would often request it. "Your cooking is delicious too, so I think you should try making different dishes yourself." But I still can't match up to you. Sophia really loves your cooking. Though I had met Sophia a few times, given her adolescent age, we had struggled to connect. Knowing she enjoyed my cooking made me feel good. After all, if Mary and I were to marry, Sophia would become my daughter. If this could be a stepping stone to building a good relationship, nothing could be better. I learned Sophia's preferences from Mary and practiced making dishes she would like. When I actually made them and gave them to Mary to take home, Sophia was thrilled. I heard from her, as a kid, it was tough on the days when I couldn't eat my mom's cooking, but now I'm glad I went through that. I thought, reflecting on this, I felt grateful for my past circumstances for the first time. After continuing our smooth relationship, Mary and I got married, and I became Sophia's father. There was some awkwardness in becoming her new father, but we were gradually able to communicate somehow. Mary had told me that it's difficult, and I tried to accept her as she was, without rushing. Years passed, and Sophia, now an adult, said she had something important to tell me. "I found someone I want to marry." Sophia brought joy not only to herself, but also to us. Her partner is the son of a company president, so it seems she won't have to worry about financial hardships. Sophia happily showed us a photo of her fiancé. Though I've been her father for a few years now, there's an inevitable feeling of loneliness, but it's a happy occasion nonetheless. I reassured myself to wholeheartedly support her. "That's wonderful, Sophia. Congratulations." "I'm looking forward to the wedding," I said, excited at the thought of seeing her in a bridal gown. However, Sophia's next words shattered my expectations. "What are you talking about? There's no way I'd invite someone like you to my wedding." For a moment, my mind went blank, unable to comprehend what I had just heard. But seeing the look of disgust on Sophia's face, I couldn't help but understand that her words were rejection. "What do you mean, Sophia? It's embarrassing to have a poor janitor like you for a father." Her unexpected statement left me bewildered. She added more shock by saying she would invite her real father to the wedding instead. For a real father, meaning Mary's ex-husband, from whom she had divorced. Why would his name come up now? As I struggled to make sense of it all, Sophia explained, "My real dad isn't poor like you, and I wouldn't be embarrassed to have him at the wedding." It turned out that Sophia had been meeting with her biological father even after Mary and I got married. Mary then spoke up, seemingly aware of these meetings. "It's not a problem, right? It's fine for Sophia to meet whoever she wants." It seems that Mary was aware of Sophia meeting with her biological father. Indeed, There's nothing inherently wrong with that. However, Sophia had told me she had never met her biological father. Why did you feel the need to lie about that? Because if you found out, and it led to you and Mom divorcing, who would cook for us every day? Her unexpected response left me speechless. Was she implying that she lied to me just for that reason? Did I mistakenly think of us as a family when, to Sophia, I was nothing more than a cook? As I stood dumbfounded, Mary delivered another blow. Your value is just that, isn't it? I married you because you can cook. That was a truth I couldn't bear to accept. Digging deeper, I learned that they were never in financial trouble due to the divorce settlement. Apparently, Mary was just looking for a temporary replacement for her ex-husband's cooking skills. You were just a stopgap until I found a better man. Realizing that my happy life was a facade was a harsh truth to face. Feeling used and pathetic for being taken advantage of, I was at a loss for words. Just make sure you don't show your face at the wedding. I've already discussed it with my father, Sophia insisted. Alright, I got it. I'll just stay home as you wish. To be honest, I'm not convinced, and the shock is just too much. But if everything is already decided, there's probably nothing I can do about it now. In the end, I had no choice but to reluctantly accept the situation. On the day of the wedding, I took a day off as instructed and stayed at home, just as Sophia had told me to. Then my phone rang with a call from Mary. Why is she calling now, during the wedding? Reluctantly answering, I heard Mary's frantic voice on the other end. Please come to the wedding right now. What are you talking about all of a sudden? I couldn't understand why, after being explicitly told not to attend the wedding, I was now being asked to come at the last minute. Upon inquiring further, I learned that the groom and his family were quite upset about my absence from the ceremony. Admittedly, I had anticipated this reaction. The groom, a young man I was familiar with, turned out to be the son of President Smith, whose company I regularly serviced as a janitor. I recognized him immediately when Sophia showed me his photo. Thanks to our prior acquaintance, President Smith had always appreciated my meticulous cleaning work, and his son had been kind to me as well. I have even greeted them before, letting them know Sophia would be under their care. Naturally, they must have expected to meet me at the wedding, but instead, they were confronted by a stranger claiming to be the father. It was only logical for them to be confused by the situation. Apparently, both Mary and Sophia were questioned extensively about their treatment of me, leading them to reveal everything that had happened. If you don't come, they said they consider the marriage null and void, and Sophia has started crying. I'm sorry, but I won't be going. After all, I'm nothing more than a cook to you too. Plus, it was you who told me not to come in the first place, wasn't it? Upon hearing my response, Mary, perhaps panicking, began to frantically make excuses. Regardless, I had no intention of heading to the wedding at this point. Also, I've decided to leave this house today. I have no intention of living with you two as just a cook. Indeed, I had taken the day off to move out of the house. I no longer felt any familial affection for Mary or Sophia and had no desire to continue living with them. Wait a minute, that's just too selfish. I'd say the same to you both, I retorted before hanging up. Mary called several more times after that, but I ignored them all and left the house. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you're curious to see where this journey takes us next, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss a single update. Your support is what keeps this channel alive and kicking, and every like, comment, and share means the world to us. We've got plenty more stories, insights, and surprises coming your way, so stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.